Hey, welcome in and thank you for joining this unboxing of the Wolverine Hero Pack, part of Marvel Champions the card game. If you enjoyed the video and this kind of content, please comment and subscribe below. Alright, so here he is, finally, the man of the hour. We get Wolverine. Just so far seems like an incredible hero deck, and a hero you can just blast through villains with and have some really quick games. So we're going to open this up and take a look at Wolverine. We'll take a look at his artwork here on the big screen. Bam, there he is, Logan Wolverine. On his side we get, the text about his hero pack, and he very reasonably comes in with an aggression deck, so we will take a look at that and have a fun time opening this up. Oh boy, where's the one that wants to work? Alrighty, so we got this. There we go. We're gonna get this plastic out of the way, take Wolverine out, and dive in and look at him. So here is Wolverine. He has 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense, and his response is that when the player phase begins, you heal 2 damage. So that is something that's going to be so hard to remember to do, but it'll work. He gets a hand size of 5 and hit points of 10, and on his alter ego he has 6 recovery, which is insane. And this is, the setup that was heard around the world. You search your deck and discard a pile for Wolverine's claws and put it into play. The way everyone is playing, and probably the way you just should play, is that this is blank. All he does on this side is have a monster recovery. So here's Wolverine's claws. To avoid the whole mess of not being able to end up playing this because it gets stuck in your hand or whatever, you just start with Wolverine's claws. That's how I'm going to be playing. You could also, if you do draw it, just have a house rule where it just costs 0 to play, so you can put it down whenever. But yeah, for now, what I'll be playing and what I see everyone else doing reasonably is just starting out with Wolverine's claws. But super cool card. You get to exhaust these claws, you choose an attack event in your hand, take damage to its printing cost, and then play that event. And that attack gains piercing. So it's just, what an incredible aspect of Wolverine. And then Jubilee, also an awesome ally. She only costs 2, and then when she enters play, until the end of the entire phase, when Wolverine or Jubilee is making an attack, you get +2 attack. So he's going to be, he would be attacking for 4, and then she'd be attacking for 3, which is awesome. So you get his upgrade, which I keep forgetting is only a 2 cost. I keep thinking it's like 4, which so glad it only costs 2. You get +4 hit points, and then +1 attack, and his basic attacks gain piercing, which is huge. And then we get another upgrade, which is Berserker Frenzy. After Wolverine takes any amount of damage from an enemy attack, you draw a card, and then when you flip to alter ego, you discard this. Cool card. After seeing it being played, and I don't know, I almost wish that this was potentially something else. I don't know, but it's still awesome. And then you get his upgrade, I Got Better. So if you were going to be defeated, you set your hit points to 5, ready your identity, and discard this card. So pretty cool. That 4 cost. I don't know if I'll be bringing it out too often, but we shall see. And then his other support, we get Logan's Cabin, where we get to flip over and shuffle some Wolverine cards into our deck, which is probably going to be his Lunging Strikes, which we'll see in a moment. So looking at his attacks, oh boy, we get Berserker Barrage. We get 2 of these, deal 4 damage to an enemy, and then if it defeats an enemy, we can take 2 damage and do it again. So pretty monster card. The 4 damage, or oh wait, the 2 damage that we take is not too bad. So then you get your Slice and Dice, where you deal 3 damage to an enemy, then 3 damage to another enemy. That comes in with 2 of those. And then 2 Lunging Strikes, which, is reasonably enough. I wish we had even 3 because it's just one of the most insane cards. You deal 8 damage to an enemy, and then gains overkill. So a ton of damage there. We get 16 from Lunging Strikes, another 12 from Slice and Dices, and then another, at minimum 8 from Berserker Barrages. Pretty crazy. And then his 2 thwarting cards, we get Track by Scent, and then if it removes the last from the scheme, you draw 2 cards. Really powerful. At first, when I saw, drop some cards here. At first, when I saw Wolverine, I thought that thwarting would become a problem, but I mean, my goodness, you're going to be blasting through the villain by attacking anyway, so hopefully you can do that before thwarting becomes a problem. So then his last 2 cards, 15, 16, are Regenerative Healing, where you get to heal 4 damage, or you can discard all the stuns and confuse from you. And then, taking a look at his aggression deck, we get Psylocke, who I imagine will be a hero we get eventually, maybe in the next cycle, or maybe if there's even another X-Men cycle. We'll see. But for now, she's 4 costs, 2 thwart, 1 attack, and she's essentially the aggression version of Iron Fist, where she comes in with 2 psionic counters, and when she attacks an enemy, we get to confuse that enemy and deal damage to it. So then our next ally is Sunfire. Super excited to see more low-cost X-Men allies. After you play Sunfire from your hand, you spend a energy resource, and then you can discard an attachment, which is really powerful, especially for 2 costs. We get 3 Battle Furies with new art. After your hero attacks and defeats a minion, deal 1 damage to your hero and discard this, and then ready a hero. We've seen that before. Warrior Skill, I think this is new, I could be wrong, but you get 3 warrior counters when your hero attacks, you remove 1, and it deals additional damage. Maybe we've seen that before, I'm not sure. So then we get 2, 3 out of my ways, deal 3 damage to an enemy, 5 damage instead if it has a guard or patrol keyword. So that's awesome, getting rid of those guards. And then, as you can see, the Sentinels on there, probably pretty perfect enemies to use it against. Precision Strike seems to be, so far, one of my favorite cards that came with this deck. I haven't played it yet, but I've watched plenty of playthroughs. You get to deal 2 damage to an enemy, and then if that defeats it, you heal 2 damage. And healing's awesome for Wolverine because you want to keep, taking off that health to use his claws. And then you get 3 Mean Swings with new artwork. Who's he attacking there? Not positive, actually, but either way, when your hero makes a basic attack, you exhaust a weapon upgrade. That would be your claws, and you get +3 attack. And then he comes in with 2 aggressive energies. When you spend this, you deal an additional damage for an attack event. So then he comes in with another Colossus, which I thought was a weird move. Colossus is great and all. I don't know if I necessarily need 2 of them. I'd rather, have another character coming out. But oh well. And then this comes out as well with Weapon X, which in Alter Ego we can exhaust and take a damage. And then we discard until we find a hero-specific card. And then, I guess, the reason this comes with Colossus would be the Fastball Special, which is fun and exciting because of what it is, and it's fun, but I don't know if it'll actually be used too often. At least it's only 1 cost. You deal X damage to an enemy, where X is the total attack of Colossus and Wolverine. Overkill and piercing. So what is Colossus has 3, you have 2 at least. So that's at least 5 damage with Fastball Special, but occasionally, you have some stuff to boost your attack as well. we get our 3 energies, genius and strength. And then we're on to his obligation. With his past demons, we may flip to alter ego. We can either exhaust Logan to remove this from the game, or we are stunned and confused and this gets discarded. So that's his obligation. And then his nemesis, which was a pretty cool choice, I thought, was Omega Red. This was probably, they probably wanted to get Omega Red out there and had to figure out where to do it, and Logan at least has plenty of history with him, so it wasn't too bad of an idea. When you have Sabretooth, who's already a villain, and you have Lady Deathstrike, who's, spoiler, coming up. We get Omega Red, the carbonadium synthesizer, and just his extra stuff here. So, he has Retaliate 1 and Steady, and then when he attacks you, you deal 1 damage to each character you control, which is like pretty manageable villain. He does have 8 health though, which would be an issue if you weren't stinking Wolverine. So anyway, Tentacle Strike, you're stunned. Yeah, that's tough. So here's his minions, or his nemesis, and that is a look at his full deck. And now we're going to take a look at the extra cards he comes with. He comes with Command Center, where after an ally thwarts and defeats a side scheme, exhaust Command Center and deal 2 damage to an enemy. So that's pretty cool for Justice decks. And then coming out as well, you get Longshot, who is a 4 cost, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health enemy. Let's see, his response is after he attacks and defeats, not even defeats, after Longshot attacks a non-elite minion, discard the top card of the encounter deck if that has a star. Defeat the attacked minion. Oh, that's pretty sweet. I haven't actually looked at that, but that is a pretty cool effect with your ally, and kind of maybe makes that 4 cost worth it. We'll see. So then we have another fastball special. So I guess you can add this with Colossus. And then, as mentioned, we get a new modular set for Lady Deathstrike. 1 scheme, 2 attack, 6 health. Interesting history with Logan and Lady Deathstrike if you haven't seen the episodes or looked into it, but it was pretty funny and random seeing this come into the show. She's a Reaver, and after Lady Deathstrike attacks and damages a character, you discard a random card from your hand, which is one of my least favorite effects in this game, so I'm going to get rid of her quickly. And then she's seeking vengeance against Logan here. And then she gets, her +2 attack upgrades, and then some treachery things. But yeah, that is a look at Wolverine, who I think for the consensus seems to be he's just an S-tier hero already. You gotta love Wolverine in general as the character, and then just the fact that he's so strong, which is something you almost wish they did with Hulk, or just a classic Beast type of character. Not Beast the actual character, but we'll see if he ever comes into play. But yeah, so that is Wolverine. Thanks again for joining along. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've enjoyed playing him, and if you think you'll continue on playing Wolverine through the series. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you for listening.